What's going on, everybody? I hope you are well and warm, kicking it fly today. As always, my name is Pigeons. You might remember me from such videos as Stop Topping Your Plants or Stop Growing Autoflowers. But today, I'm going to be talking about something a little different. I am on the cusp of one of the biggest, greatest harvests of my entire career. I was trying to think of a better, bigger one, and in fact, this is it. I've filled an entire 4x4 tent with one plant. As a matter of fact, you can check it out on my Instagram, where I kept everybody up to date the entire time. I can't post videos here about it because, well, YouTube doesn't like the plant content. But let me tell you, I think that there are only two training techniques that you need to utilize anytime you are growing this wonderful plant. And those two training techniques are... We're going to get into it. But before I do, I want to give a huge shout out to today's sponsors, AC Infinity. Shout out to AC Infinity. If you go to acinfinity.com, check out all their products. You can see that they've got humidifiers, inline fans, they've got tents, they've got everything you're going to need to grow a plant just like I have done this run. Go to acinfinity.com, use promo code PIGEONS420, and you'll save a few dollars off at checkout, and you can thank them for being a sponsor of today's video over on Instagram at AC Infinity. Also want to give a huge shout out to Spider Farmer. If it was not for this light and this tent, I would not have been able to do what I've done here with this plant. This is grown under the SE5000. I love the dimmability controls. I love the fact that it's bar style, covering the entire footprint of this 4x4 tent. If you go to spiderfarmer.ca and check out all their products, they've got lights that'll fit 2x2s to 5x5s, 8x8s. You check them out. They've got the SE series, and I swear by these lights. Check them out. Use promo code PIGEONS5. You'll save a few dollars off at checkout as well. Grow great plants with these two sponsors, guys. Thank you. But let's jump into what two techniques you need to grow massive flowers. YouTube really doesn't like when we show plant content on their platform. And I thought, how am I going to describe how to train these plants if I can't show the plants? And then I thought, wait a second. Interpretive dance. What better way to speak to people than through dance? So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Today we're going to talk about training. And let's head on out into the field so I can give you the best demonstration you've ever seen. The first technique is lollipopping. You're going to want to remove the bottom portions of the plant as this plant progresses through the vegetative stage so that you can try to train the tops that are going to be the ones that are going to bear the big, heavy fruits. You're going to start to remove the low-lying branches, the ones that are just going to get in the way of these bigger plants, ones that are essentially not going to be able to soak up the light that's going to get blocked by the canopy. So go ahead and remove the bottom portions of the plant. I like to think of this as almost like the thirds to two-third rule. I like to remove either the bottom third or two-thirds to maintain a big, heavy canopy. Let the light soak up across all the buds, right? But not the bottom ones. Just remove those. And then that way you're not only going to be able to maximize the bud growth, you're also going to be able to ensure that you're not going to create a habitat that's going to be beneficial to bugs. Bugs are going to be one of those things that sneak up on you at the end of your grow, or, worst case is they show up towards the middle and you have to try to deal with them, or you lose the entire crop. I do find lollipopping your plants minimizes the exposure to bugs and allows for the light to take up as much of that top canopy as possible, and it doesn't have to worry about the light doesn't have to worry about penetrating through the canopy to get to those lower lying buds. I lollipop all of my plants, and I think you should too. The second technique that I think is underutilized and as important is the idea of bending your plants over. I'm a strong believer that you do not need to top your plants. So the idea of either topping or mainlining is out for me because I don't think it's necessary. I much rather bend the plant over, have it exposed horizontally to the light so that all those bud sites have an equal opportunity to soak up the light and energy. Just bend them over. Give those branches a little bit of a twist every branch should get a little bit of your attention. So make sure that you're twisting every branch, you're bending every branch, because not only is this going to allow it to spread outwards to cover the entire tent or the entire surface area, it's also going to allow these stems to get big and strong so that they can bear the fruit of these big, heavy buds. I'm a strong believer in giving every single top a little bit of attention. This way you know that it's going to be able to handle the heavy weight of the bud. We've all been there. We've had those buds that tip over sideways later and later into flower because they weren't supported by a good, solid stem. So twist. Call it the pigeon twist. Give it a little twist in your fingers. Every branch should get a little bit of attention, and that includes the main stalk. That main stalk is often going to want to bounce back up from you, but you got to be able to bend it back down, you know? That way that it can stay horizontal. That plant is going to fight you to come back upwards. And that fight is actually what's going to make it stronger as it progresses through the veg stage. Between using these two techniques of lollipopping and bending, you don't need to use any other technique to maximize your space. Anything else, in my opinion, is overkill. Topping your plants, mainlining your plants, there's too much recovery time in that. Why not use the plant that you have rather than removing some to create more surface area? On the video that I created that said stop topping your plants, the main argument people had was, well, if you don't top your plants, you're not maximizing plant growth. To which I argue that's incorrect. You can bend your plants over to get maximized growth. You don't have to top them. Keep the tops, utilize them, and keep it growing on. I think between these two techniques, any grower can grow great product. Don't let it bring you down. Don't overcomplicate the situation. Make it simple for you. And I think that will allow you to keep your garden as efficient as possible. Do we get it? That's all the time I have. If you have any comments in regards to anything that I mentioned, you can leave them in the comment section below. Or if you want to come hash this out live, come on over to twitch.tv/pigeons420. I talk about everything over there. We're live every single day. We hash things out 9 p.m. Central, Monday to Saturday. And let me tell you, it is always a great conversation. We talk about gardens, we talk about buds, we talk about life, we talk about anything. And I encourage you to come check it out and join the conversation. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I will be harvesting this weekend. So stay tuned on either my Instagram or my social club so you can see everything. I will keep you posted. But until then, have yourselves an incredible weekend. Much love. Stay medicated, team, because guess what? Life's better that way.